Bonjour, this is Andrea with the ADS Agency, here to bring you the very best in marketing and branding tips, as well as business tips for that current entrepreneur, that aspiring entrepreneur, and those of you who are also in your career professions, working on your personal branding. Here for you, happy to be here. And thanks for joining us. What we're talking about today is mentorship. I have a wonderful new mentor I'm so grateful for. Just met up with him recently and got some wonderful tips. I mean, I can't, it's so many tips. You can't even read all this. I won't be able to read all of it after a week. And so I thought I would share with you just a few of these tips real fast, just some of the best, because I thought they were great and I wanted to share them with you. All right, and one of those things, there's two big things and then like a 5-point plan I want to share with you, okay? I'm gonna try to do it in like 5 to 7 minutes. Someone told me try to do 5 minutes. It's so hard. All right, so here we go. The very first thing, which I thought was so golden, and you know, if I think something's golden, I mean, I think it's great. The first one was the goal in business is to create wealth and not income. Wealth and not income, okay? I just want that to like sink in real fast. And I have to tell you, because many of you may know the story of ADS, it was very much what I call accidental entrepreneurship, and I think a lot of people out there might be just like me. And so in this space of accidental entrepreneurship, we might just be thinking, I'm just really trying to replace the income that I had. You know, I'm just trying to like make sure my lifestyle stays the same and that kind of thing, except I'm trying to do that with a business. Just the fact that he said the goal in this is to create wealth and not income, to thrive and not just survive, was, you know, it just got my whole mindset straight there. Like, think higher. We need to be thinking higher with this. So the goal is wealth and not income. All right. Point number 2. I just love that one so much. But the second one that I thought was so great is that he said the reason for starting a business is to enhance your quality of life. Which I love, you know, and you may remember I did an exercise with myself right around when my business was hitting the 1-year mark. And that was to think about, how do you picture your life? How do you want your life? How do you want to live, right? So thinking about that, I mean, that hit home, because really what this is about is, how do you really want to live? I mean, you truly only do live once. And if we're going to do this, what do we really want to do? No holds barred, no restrictions. If you had no restrictions on yourself, what in the world would you do with yourself? So that's what this is about too, enhancing your quality of life. So to create wealth and not income, to enhance your quality of life. And very quickly, I'm going to run down a 5-point plan that seems simple, but I love this. So this is something he said to himself years and years ago, when he was starting his own business, and he had the luxury of having a whole entire year off before he had to do anything. But he said to himself he has a 5-point plan in all of this, and I thought it's a good reminder and something to think about. So he said to himself, first, I've got to hit the gym. The gym, he said, it need to be physical. And why? He said this art, this journey of running a business is not a race. It's not a sprint kind of a race. It's a marathon. And so you got to be prepared in so many ways for that. And so thinking in all of that, that this is a marathon, he said you got to pace yourself. And he thought the first important thing with that was to be physically fit. Number 2, be financially ready. So in his world, he started paying off bills, started paying off credit card debt, getting himself ready, getting himself prepared and in a position to rock and roll. Number 3, he said spiritually, he had to prepare himself. For him, that meant finding a church that fit him, something that feeds him, and that was a little bit of a mind shift check for me too, because when I think of church, I don't necessarily think of me, what I get out of it. I'm more so thinking the ultimate goal. I mean, you do think that a little bit, but I think the ultimate goal is community. The community in the church, the community that you're serving, it's other people, it's all of that. He does have a good point. I mean, we really do need our own spiritual food. So you need a place that's filling you, feeding you, whatever your faith is. And he also said psychologically, preparing yourself psychologically for this marathon that you're about to embark on. And finally, he said socially, you've got to insert yourself. So, yeah. He said you got to insert yourself. You got to get around people who have great ideas, good advice, who have capital, who can invest in your business, who can be clients. And another thing I thought that was so good, and it's the last thing I'll leave you with, was about friends and how he said he's in a whole level of a circle of friends. All of his best friends now, and everyone's like his best friend, but all of his best friends are people who are CEOs of major organizations, not like CEO like anybody can open up shop, solopreneur shop any day at any time. These are like superstar CEOs, people he's surrounding himself with. And he said the level of thing here, he said you're about to embark in a space where everybody's not going to even get your language anymore. Your friends, the people you hang around, they're not really going to get where you are. They're in a different place. They're in a different mindset. And you've got to obtain new friends who can help you, who can be where you are, who are higher than you are, to help you pull you up, right? So, and finally, okay, I said that was the last thing, but I just remember one more thing that was, I mean, there's like 50 things on this sheet. You see how tiny I write? There's like 50 things I could share with you that are so good. I only wrote down like the so good things, and this whole sheet is full. And that's from such a short little meeting. However, the final thing was, I was just like, this is such great information, and I didn't know why. Why me? Why do I get to be the benefactor of all this great nuggets of information and how to run your business and all of that? And he simply said, all I want you to do, and all I ask in return, is that one day when you're just as wealthy, one day when your business is wildly successful, that you care and take a moment to do the same for someone else. Because he said there's so many lessons he wished he'd learned. He wished someone had taught him, and there just was no one around to do that. So he is doing that now, sharing and imparting that wisdom of the things that he wished he knew, and taking someone under his wing. And I love this. I think International Women's Day, that organization that's doing International Women's Day, their big push this year is #MentorHer. Magically, I got a guy mentor who's has, and I feel like I'm a fairly perceptive person, but as far as I can tell, has no other alternative motives, no personal agenda, simply trying to help another entrepreneur make it out there. So grateful for that. Sincerely, I mean, like, the thinking has been so vastly elevated. So that's it, good people. Thanks so much for listening. Those are my quick tips. What tips do you have about starting your own business? Share them with us. There might be someone here who could benefit from that too. So hope you enjoyed this. Be out on the lookout for another ADS chat. 009 should be coming up later this month. I think towards the end of the month, have a special surprise cooking up for you. So just mark your calendars for the 27th. Okay? Thank you so much. Have a great day out there and see you soon. Mwah.